Why is Kendrick here? A couple walks into the travel agency where I work. The second I turn my cheerful customer service smile their way, my smile freezes. We're going on our honeymoon. Sitting next to the glowing bride-to-be is, for some reason, my own husband, looking as pale as a ghost. What's going on here? I have a lot to say, but a drama isn't suited for the workplace. I hold back my tears and suppress my emotions for the moment. But I make up my mind that their adulterous honeymoon will not have a happy ending. Brace yourselves. I'll make sure your trip is nothing short of hell. My name is Miranda. I'm 26, and I've been dating Kendrick since we were students. Our relationship continued even after we became working adults, and 3 years after graduation we got married. We transitioned from lovers to spouses and started a new life. At first, living together was exciting, and every day was happy. But as we lived together, I started seeing who he truly was. Kendrick had been a bit of a heartthrob since his student days. Even as an adult, he's still a looker. When we go out, women passing by do a double take. As for myself, I've always been somewhat confident in how I look. But after getting married, balancing work and housework, as well as saving for a future with kids, I found little time or money for myself. I worked at a travel agency, and depending on the season or circumstances, working late is not uncommon, so there were times when I couldn't manage household chores perfectly. That's when Kendrick would get annoyed. Can't use work as an excuse to neglect the house. I'm working too. What's the point of being married if dinner's not ready when I get home? The man who was once so kind had turned cold, almost as if he were a different person after marriage. Or maybe this was his true face all along. Whenever he got too harsh, I would argue back. That's when he'd say, "If you can't even handle housework, I don't mind breaking up any time. I'm still popular, you know. I get plenty of offers." How many times I have cried over his words. Even when I'd rush home, he would decide to dine out, not caring at all about how I felt. Our relationship grew colder in such a household. Then one day, our days off coincided, and we had dinner together for the first time in ages. Eating in silence, Kendrick suddenly spoke up. "Speaking of which, I got transferred to South Carolina starting next week. I won't be back for a while. Could be a really long time, actually." "South Carolina? Wow, that's sudden. How long will you be gone?" "Hard to say. Maybe 6 months or a year. Either way, I plan to enjoy some me time." Even though Kendrick already acted like he was a free man, his smug smile irritated me to my core. Considering it's him, he might cheat during his business trip. We were already on shaky ground as a married couple, so I didn't voice my concerns. Still, I braced myself for the worst. Little did I know the events that would unfold were beyond anything I could have imagined. A week had passed since Kendrick left for South Carolina. He texted me on the first day to say the move went well, but there were no messages after that. Though I was concerned about him, to be honest, I was quite enjoying my newfound solitude. Coming home to a quiet house was bliss. I never realized how comfortable it is to do chores at my own pace. My co-workers started noticing my upbeat mood, and I felt much lighter. I prefer it this way, with my husband gone on work, as long as he's healthy and bringing in money. It's something I couldn't actually say, so I'd laugh it off. My good spirits continued until my boss offered me an opportunity. "Miranda, you've been doing exceptionally well lately." "Thank you. It's all thanks to the help I get from everyone around me." "We appreciate your contributions, too. Actually, another branch nearby is short-staffed. Would you mind helping out for a while?" "Absolutely. I'd love to." I was thrilled to be recognized for my work, and even more excited to experience a different work environment. The other location was a bit far from home, but with Kendrick gone, there was no rush to get back. The timing was perfect. I agreed without any hesitation and started helping at the other branch the following week. It was in a large commercial complex near a train station and was busier than my current location, making it incredibly satisfying to work there. One day, a new customer came in. "Nice to meet you. We're on our honeymoon." It was a couple. The woman was a bit younger than me, strikingly beautiful, almost model-like. The jewelry she wore was embedded with what looked like expensive gems, hinting at a life of luxury. But what shocked me wasn't her. It was the man sitting next to her. When I saw his face, I almost screamed. I couldn't believe my eyes. The man sitting at the table was Kendrick, my husband. He was supposed to be on a business trip to South Carolina, so why was he here? At first, I thought he might be a look-alike, but when he saw my face, he broke into a cold sweat, his eyes darting left and right. What on earth was going on? I wanted to confront him then and there, but I couldn't make a scene in the shop. I put on my best customer service smile, but inside, my mind was racing. When I glared at Kendrick, he looked away without saying a word. Contrastingly, the woman was all smiles, chattering happily about their honeymoon plans. "We haven't submitted our marriage certificate yet, but we're planning to get married this year. We're jumping the gun because we're so eager for our honeymoon." "Oh, that sounds wonderful. You look so happy together." "Aren't you married too?" she asked, pointing to the ring on my left hand. "Yes, I am. My husband said he's on a business trip in South Carolina. Who knows what he's actually up to?" A side glance at Kendrick revealed he had gone white as a sheet. Still, he avoided eye contact. "You've got to trust your partner, right, Kendrick?" The woman clung to Kendrick's arm and leaned against him. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure she wants to get back to you as soon as possible, too," he stammered. Who did he think he was kidding? About an hour later, the two left. I immediately texted Kendrick. "Meet me at the local family restaurant tonight. Show up or I spill the beans." Although he'd been out of touch for over a week, his reply came in seconds. Later, at the family restaurant, Kendrick was already there. "It's been a while. What are you doing here? This isn't South Carolina." "That bossy tone of yours? What a contrast to my beautiful girlfriend, Kelly." He looked nothing like the pale-faced man from earlier, sipping his coffee arrogantly. "Didn't expect you to change locations. Were you demoted?" "That's not the point. Don't we have something serious to discuss?" I pressed, and Kendrick let out a dramatic sigh. "Your assertiveness isn't cute. You used to be, but lately you're lacking in appeal." He studied me from head to toe, as if comparing me to this Kelly woman. "It was during this time I had a fateful encounter with Kelly." "Excuse me? You do realize you're married, right?" "Don't worry. I'm not planning on having an affair. I'll break up with you cleanly, so relax." "What kind of way is that to talk?" "Don't make a big fuss just because I'm dumping you. You'll get wrinkles and look even more unattractive. And don't make a scene in front of Kelly, okay? This is work, so act like it." With those words, he left the family diner without waiting for my reply. I was so angry, I wanted to grab him and punch him right then and there, but I couldn't cause a scene in front of the other customers. "Fine, if that's how you feel, I'll give you the best trip ever." I swallowed my boiling anger and vowed to take my revenge. So, what I proposed for them was the nature-filled refreshment tour for newlyweds. It was a relaxing domestic trip to enjoy the beautiful air of rivers and forests. When I sent over the paperwork, "I'm really looking forward to it," Kelly called me, saying so. Fast forward 2 months to the day of the tour. The couple appeared, luggage in tow. I greeted them warmly. "Today, I'll be your tour guide." "Not only did you suggest the tour, you're guiding us? That's wonderful, thank you." Kelly beamed with joy, while Kendrick looked at me suspiciously. "You'll make sure it's a fun tour, right?" "Don't worry, I've prepared thoroughly for today," I responded, smiling the kind of smile I use for work. I had indeed prepared meticulously for this day. I was all set to turn their once-in-a-lifetime honeymoon into an unforgettable tour. Now, please board the bus for transportation. Please note you'll be sharing the bus with other tour participants. They boarded the bus as I directed. Upon boarding, Kendrick's eyes widened in surprise. Oh, what a cute couple! Are you on the same tour? An elderly couple already on the bus waved to Kendrick and Kelly, while Kelly waved back smiling. Kendrick immediately came up to me. What's going on here? Why are my parents on this bus? Yes, the elderly couple were none other than Kendrick's parents. I had consulted them about his cheating, and they eagerly offered to help me exact revenge. How about getting on the bus? The tour is just getting started. Darn it, this is ridiculous. Kendrick was seething with anger, but he couldn't lose his cool in front of his clueless girlfriend. So he boarded the bus, his face a mask of pure irritation. Kelly, thinking the older couples she bumped into were just random strangers, continued her cheerful conversation with father-in-law and mother-in-law. So, you're on your honeymoon. Ah, to be young. What do you like about him? Well, he's incredibly genuine. He loves me for who I am, not for my looks or money. He always speaks kindly to me and never lies. That's great, isn't it? Honesty is so important. Yes, he's so open with me that it puts my mind at ease. Good for you. A man who lies is just the worst. While mother-in-law and Kelly chat, Kendrick pretends not to hear and stares out the window in silence. Every time the bus passes through a tunnel, his already tight expression hardens, making him look like livestock being taken to market. As they eat delicious food and look out at the river, Kelly and father-in-law and mother-in-law seem to have become fast friends. All the while, Kendrick's discomfort is palpable, his face increasingly pale. Is it because he's sweating so much that he's thirsty? He repeatedly sips from an empty water bottle. You look off today. You okay? It's nothing. Is this tour over yet? I'd like to get off for a bathroom break at least. Struggling to keep it together, Kendrick finally asks for help. I respond with a smile. Just hang in there a little longer. We'll arrive at our final destination soon. Please enjoy the beautiful scenery until then. After about 10 more minutes, the bus finally arrives at the last spot. Staggering off the bus after his energetic girlfriend, Kendrick looks around and is at a loss for words. Wait, where are we? This is a hidden gem, a scenic spot very popular with couples. Our final destination is a highland bridge spanning a large river. With nothing obstructing the view, the river below and the beautiful blue sky can be seen for miles. What a great choice for couples. Let's take a picture together. No, I'm fine. You go ahead. Come on, let's go. Kendrick, pulled along by Kelly, hesitantly steps onto the land bridge. He looks down at the river and freezes. You see, Kendrick has an extreme fear of heights. Even shopping on the 3rd floor of a mall and looking down gives him pause. You can imagine how terrified he must feel now. Actually, you can bungee jump from here. There's a superstition that if the boyfriend jumps while declaring his love, the couple will be forever happy. Really? That's amazing! Next to Kelly, whose eyes are sparkling, Kendrick can't even speak. He just shakes his head. I can't do it. I really can't. Please understand. Strapped into his bungee jumping harness by the local instructor, Kendrick couldn't help but cry and sniffle. Forgive me, Miranda. Who's Miranda? My name is Kelly. She instantly turned serious, glaring at Kendrick. Normally, this would have turned into a big confrontation, but overwhelmed by the fear of bungee jumping, Kendrick started blubbering and spilled everything. I was just messing around with Kelly. She's just some pretty rich girl, and I was planning to have a little fun and then go back to my life. Why are you so upset about a little cheating? What? Cheating? What are you talking about? Confused, Kelly listened as I told her everything. That Kendrick was actually married and I was his wife. That Kendrick was a lowlife who only cared about a woman's looks. And that the elderly couple on the tour were my father-in-law and mother-in-law. After hearing it all, Kelly took a deep breath and turned to Kendrick. Is everything they're saying true? But look at what I'm going through. Don't you think I'm the victim here? She gently laid her hand on Kendrick's fully secured harness. Answer yes or no. You're married? Yet you were playing around with me? Even promised to marry me? Yes, I'm sorry. Well, I don't forgive you. With a smile, Kelly gestured for me to come over. Shall we do this together? Absolutely. We both stood behind Kendrick and gave him a hearty push off the platform. No! Kendrick's death wail echoed throughout the canyon. And so, with that grand scream, our newlyweds tour came to an end. Later, Kendrick was shaped with a hefty fine from Kelly, and unsurprisingly, she called off their engagement. Kendrick had quit his job, hoping to live off Kelly's wealthy family, and now that was all out in the open. First order of business, find a job to pay off the fine. To make matters worse, his own family disowned him after the incident, leaving him with no one to turn to. Then he had the audacity to ask me for a reconciliation, but I was having none of it. I also served him with divorce papers, and am pushing a settlement in divorce court, leaving him with debts exceeding $60,000. What kind of miserable life he'll lead from now on is not my concern. As for Kelly, she seemed grateful to me. Thanks to you, I put one over on that idiot. Next time I meet someone truly wonderful, please handle my honeymoon arrangements again. I'll be waiting. And so we both set off on new paths in life.